My name is Paul McBeth, currently sitting tied for first right now, and my sponsors are Innova Champion Discs, Grip Bags, Tomahawk Shades, and what do I do in my free time? Probably play sports, honestly, whatever sport I can play while on my downtime.
Hey, it's Gregg Barsby. I'd like to thank my sponsors, Upper Park Designs, Skeet, and Final Nine Sports, as well as all my family and the entire empire. And I can't remember what you said after that.
Favorite thing to do outside of disc golf?
My favorite thing to do outside of disc golf? Smash box.
Hi, I'm Nate Sexton. I'm sponsored by Innova Champion Discs. I'm tied for third place. My favorite non-disc golf activity is just spending time with my wife and my dog and going to the dog park, hanging out with them. Not in the wood.
Hi, I'm Ricky Wysocki. My favorite activities are fishing and ping pong. And what else do you want?
Any sponsors? Start
okay.
over. Go ahead.
And I want to thank my sponsors, Latitude 64 and Voodoo Golf Bags.
And you have just watched our leader card tee off here on this first hole, which is a par 4. Welcome to the 2015 Nick Hyde Memorial Round 3 leader card coverage. Paul McBeth throwing his second shot, playing or getting a little skip. He's going to have a look at it. Nate Sexton approaching to the pin, and he's going to be looking at a birdie 3 opportunity. And Barsby's throwing out and to the right. He's going to want that to finish a little bit. He'll have a putt for birdie. And Brody Miller with a hyzer approach. Very nicely done. Ricky Wysocki with about 90 feet to the pin. McBeth from 35 makes a phenomenal putt right through the corridor of those two trees, dead center. McBeth starting with a birdie 3 here in the first hole. And Barsby answers with a birdie as well. And no problems for Nate Sexton, tapping in the third birdie of the card. And Brody will be fourth to putt. And Wysocki will tap in as well. 5 for 5 here. Very impressive start by our leader card. Let's move on to the par 4, hole number 2. Paul McBeth teeing here on this second hole.
Oh my goodness.
And Gregg Barsby says, "Oh my goodness." Looks to be a very...
No! Turned around and came back.
Barsby doing the play-by-play for us. Hole 2, another par 4 here. This course starts out par 4, par 4, par 5. And Barsby going with a much lower shot. And if that can get up and past that dirt, he'll have a good look at attacking the pin for a 3. And Brody with a very nice shot. He's going to look for that to either finish hard left, or he's going to have to contend with some trees in the center. And Sexton throwing a roller. The grass is a little wet and longer down in that area. It's not too far from Barsby's shot. And Wysocki going with a forehand. He's looking for that to skip up and to the right, and it gets kind of a straight skip to the left. Sexton goes with a forehand shot, and that'll leave him a putt. And Wysocki opts for a forehand roller, and it curls up and around the basket, and he'll be left with a putt. A nice gentle hyzer for Barsby. Brody from a very muddy standstill position right next to the pin. McBeth with another very tight gap to navigate. Sexton just a bit short. And Wysocki is in for his birdie 3. McBeth about the same distance. 15, maybe 17 feet. And McBeth is in for the birdie 3 as well. I expect Barsby to do the same. First Nate. Nate's going to take the par 4. And both Barsby and Brody looking at birdie 3s. 10 opportunities and 9 birdies taken thus far in the first 2 holes. This is leader card coverage. And McBeth going with a crushing anhyzer out and around as that is carrying way past. Looks like it's going onto the hillside deep. Huge shot. Unfortunately, it may be a little further than he was looking for. Barsby going with a forehand. Barsby with a forehand. If that gets past everything and finishes right, he'll be in a very good position. He really likes it. And Brody's shot is up the middle, slight turnover, and that's going to fade right into the center of the hillside.
Thank you.
And Wysocki with a forehand. If this can finish right, he may be in a good position. Very good looking shot by Ricky, although he doesn't seem thrilled with it. And Sexton going out and over as McBeth had done. He's going to need for that to keep panning right, and I think it's fading left instead. He's going to have a little work to do from that long left side. Sexton throwing a very nice looking shot straight ahead. And Brody throwing his second shot. It's fading slightly left. And moments ago, Barsby had thrown his second shot from the base of the hill. And that is a gorgeous shot by Ricky Wysocki. The crowd loves it. And Paul McBeth chooses the small gap to fight through. Sexton from a standstill approach grabs a tree. And Barsby throwing an Anheuser with his putter and left side. And Brody's precarious lie, he throws out to there. Nate's fourth shot is right next to the basket. And with very little luck, Gregg gets out nicely. McBeth for eagle. Oh. Just off the top. And Brody gets his to drop in. He's going to be very happy with that. And Wysocki high left chain and in. Barsby taps in, as will Sexton and McBeth. And Wysocki's forehand is coming in here on hole 4. And he'll have a putt from there. McBeth stops just 12 feet from the pin. Brody's turnover shot is coming in perfectly. Hits a few roots and is right next to the pin. And a very fortunate kick for Gregg Barsby, as that keeps him on the edge. He's going to be looking at less than 30 feet with little obstruction. That was a very good kick for him. Measuring in at 199 feet. Oh, and beautiful shot. That's hole number 4. And Barsby's putt is up and in. And from one knee, Wysocki makes good. No problems for cleaning up here by Nate Sexton, birdie 2. Paul McBeth with 15 feet. Pro move with the bag on shoulder. And Brody cleans up. 5 for 5 on the birdies. And we've moved over here to the relatively short but very technical hole number 5. And Wysocki throws a perfect shot just a few feet from the pin. Most of these players are looking to throw straight down this tunnel, have it come up short of the basket and skip the rest of the way to the pin, exactly how you saw Wysocki's shot. And McBeth is going to be near this line. There was some confusion yesterday as to whether the water directly behind me is casual or OB. There was a slight inconsistency that was discussed, and Brody goes high hyzer shot, and that is the first time I've seen that shot successfully executed. There is certainly an element of plinko or luck when you go with the high hyzer shot on this hole, hoping just to get clean, and that was very fortunate for Brody. This looks pretty good by Barsby. And a little bit short, looks like he had thrown a putter. Again, we see forehands and backhands, and then as well as the high hyzer route. Sexton coming straight up the middle and kicks off the tree. He'll have a putt. And Barsby straddle from about 25 feet is good. For flow of play, Nate Sexton's going to throw next. And Nate is good. And with an awkward straddle to his left, McBeth is good. Brody will be tapping in for his birdie 2 in just a moment. And Wysocki will do the same. 5 for 5 again here on hole number 5. Moved over here to hole number 6. Ricky Wysocki on the tee. And a beautiful shot by Ricky. Backhand shot here by Paul McBeth, and that's going to be perfect. He's about 14 feet deep of the pin. Brody coming in with a shot, and about 8 feet deeper than Paul McBeth's. long as Barsby can beat that. No, I wasn't going to say that tree. I was originally going to say this large tree. The players cannot see the basket whatsoever. It is perfectly guarded by that large tree I just showed you. They can navigate slightly left or right of that large tree, and they'll have a good chance at a birdie too. And we see Sexton coming in with a forehand, and he'll be left with 20 feet for birdie. Barsby with at least 80 feet to the pin. Could be a little more than that. And he's left himself a tester. And Brody opts for the straddle putt and makes good for the birdie too. And Barsby cleans up for the par. A little more work than he was looking for here on hole number 6. Nate has less than 20 feet for birdie. And he makes good. Ricky about the same distance. Birdie for Ricky. And Paul just a foot or two closer than both of them. And no problems. 4 for 5 here on hole number 6. At just over 330 feet, we have Ricky Wysocki on the tee of hole number 7. And this hole sets up perfectly for a forehand. Ricky's come up about 30 to 35 feet short. Ricky has maintained the tee box since taking the Eagle 3 on hole number 3. All of the competitors in this group playing very well right now. And McBeth has turned that over and found the left-hand side of the fairway. He's going to have a little bit of work to do from inside there. He's at least 150 feet from the pin. Again, with the slope of this hill, this hole sets up perfectly for a right-handed forehand shot. Brody's going to have just the right angle and speed on this, throwing the backhand. And he has kicked also. After hitting his right-hand side of the fairway, it kicks over to the left. Nate Sexton, known as one of the best forehand throwers in the game. Nice and low, coming right at us, and just past the pin. He'll have a putt for birdie from there. Barsby will also be throwing a forehand shot here. As you've seen by a number of these first 7 holes, forehand certainly is a great tool and asset to have out when playing this course. And then Brody gets caught up a little early. And McBeth's shot is just off. And Barsby with a forehand approach. Nicely done. And a solid approach here by Brody. And Ricky makes good on the birdie too. And McBeth will put in for a 4, relinquishing 2 strokes to Wysocki, as well as 2 here to Nate Sexton, who's looking to line up a birdie 2 as well. We're through 7. After carding the birdie 2 on hole number 7, Wysocki throws a very nice shot here on number 8. He's just a few feet away. This hole is relatively short, however, there is a mandatory. The players must navigate to their left of the tree that's on the left-hand side of your screen. You will see more than likely at least 4 forehands here, possibly even 5. Nate Sexton needs that just to sit down, and he's just a few feet closer than Wysocki. He'll have an easy tap in too. Barsby and McBeth will both be throwing forehands. I'm unsure if Brody will throw a slight turnover. And they're making it look easy as Barsby's pretty much on the wood chips, also looking at an easy birdie too. Deep and left of the basket is a drop off with a very nasty hillside and trees and shrubbery. And McBeth throws a very nice shot which hits right near the basket. Brody is lining up for a forehand as well here. Hole measures in just over 200 feet. We actually feel a constant drizzle of rain at the moment. It's held off and been very overcast up until now. And Brody gets a few skips and has a putt as well. And Brody's in for the birdie too. All 5 competitors within 22 feet of the pin here. Wysocki is in. Expect obviously the other 3 to tap in here. They're all less than 10 feet from the pin. This looks to be a modified basket. Some form of DGA bottom with an Innova top. CTP? Yeah. No. And after a long run to the truck, Nate gets back and makes good on the birdie too. Ricky Wysocki was ready before I was after a long backup. Wysocki's shot had gone left and finished somewhat in the center. Not quite as far as Nate Sexton's just through. Very nice. Gregg Barsby 3rd to tee here on hole 9. McBeth throwing on this 402-foot hole, catches a tree on the left-hand side. Brody Miller, 5th to tee. And And Brody's shot is turning nicely. This may be a perfect shot by Brody Miller. And Barsby with a forehand roller. Wysocki with an overhand that goes about 80 feet. McBeth with a forehand from one knee.
Fighter.
Forehand putter shot by Barsby. Sexton with a very nice shot right next to the pin. Wysocki from one knee. And McBeth is just a bit high. And Barsby saves the 4 after a very challenging first lie. And Brody takes the 3 after a phenomenal drive and a short layup. Nate takes a very methodical 3, doing exactly what he talked about during the backup. Ricky is in for 4, and McBeth will be the same. 9 down, 10 to go. This is the 3rd round coverage, 2015 Nick Hyde Memorial.
Here comes the rain. Let's go to the back 9.